my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit on your face and tell you I love you too. I love to hear you oralize. When I'm between your thighs, you blow me away. Sit on my face and let my lips embrace you. I'll sit on your face and then I'll love you truly. Life can be fine if we both 69. If we sit on your faces and all sorts of places and play till we're blown away.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the public library on Thurman Street just now, skimming through Rogue Harry's by Hugh Walpole, and I suddenly came over all peckish.
Peckish, sir?
Syrians.
Eh?
Yeah, I'm all hungry like, in a nutshell. So I thought to myself, a little fermented curd would do the trick. So I curtailed my Walpoling activities, sallied forth, and infiltrated your place of pavilions to negotiate the vending of some cheesy comestibles.
Come again?
I want to buy some cheese!
Oh, I thought you were complaining about the music.
Oh, heaven forbid. I'm one who delights in all manifestations of the terpsichorean muse. Now then, some cheese if you please.
Sir, what would you like?
How about a little red Leicester?
I'm afraid we're fresh out of Leicester, sir.
Oh, no matter. How are you on Tilsit?
I'm afraid we never have that at the end of the week, sir. We get it first on Monday.
Tish, tish. Oh, never mind. Well, 4 ounces of Kerfilly, if you please.
Ah, it's been on order, sir, for 2 weeks. Was expecting it this morning.
It's not my lucky day, is it? Bill Paisley?
Sorry, sir.
Red Windsor?
Normally, sir, yesterday the van broke down.
Ah, Stilton?
Sorry.
Greer? Emmentaler?
No.
Norwegian Jarlsberger, perchance?
No.
Liptar?
No.
Lancashire? White Stilton? Danish Blue? Double Gloucester? Cheshire? Dorset Blue Vinny?
No.
Brie, Roquefort, Paul l'Evêque, Port-Salut, Savoyard, Coeur de l'Est, Brest Blue, Phil de Champagne, Camembert.
Ah, we do have some Camembert.
You do? Excellent.
Yes, sir, it's runny.
Oh, I like it running.
Well, sir, it's actually, it's very, very, very runny.
No matter. Fetch hither the fromage de la Belle France.
But, you know, sir, I think it's runnier than you'd like it, sir.
I don't care how fucking runny it is. And don't know what speed.
Yes, sir.
Oh. What now?
The cat's eaten it.
Has he?
She, sir.
Gouda, Edam, smoked Austrian, Sage Derby. You do have some cheese, don't you?
Yes, sir, it's a cheese shop. We have...
Oh, no, don't tell me. I'm keen to guess.
Fair enough.
Wensleydale.
Yes?
Oh, well, I'll have some of that.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me, sir. Arthur Wensleydale. That's your name.
Gorgonzola, Parmesan, mozzarella, pepper creme, provolone, Greek feta, Danish fimbo, Czechoslovakian string cheese, Zimbabwean rhinoceros milk cheese.
Normally, sir, yes. But not today.
How about cheddar?
We don't get much more for around here, sir.
Not much call. It's the single most popular cheese in the world.
Around here, sir.
And pray, what is the most popular cheese around here?
Chester, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir. It's staggeringly popular in these parts.
Is it?
Yes, sir. It's our #1 bestseller, sir.
Nice. Ilchester, eh?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm game. Have you got any? He asked, expecting the answer no.
I'll have a look-see.
Cheese shop, is it?
Finest in the district, sir.
Explain the logic underlying that conclusion.
So clean, sir.
Well, it's certainly uncontaminated with cheeses.
Yeah, perhaps we don't have burger yet.
Is it worth it? Will you shut that bloody dancing up?
Told you so.
Do you have any Limburger?
No.
Figures predictable, really, I suppose. Tell me, do you have any cheese here at all?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you that question again, and if you say no, I'm going to stab you in the throat.
Certainly, sir.
Do you have any cheese here at all?
Yes, sir.
What a senseless waste of human life.
Brought to you by the makers of Scum, the world's first ever hair oil, foot ointment, and salad dressing. Also brought to you by the makers of Titan, the novelty nuclear missile. You'll never know when it'll go off. Surprise your friends, amuse your enemies, start the party with a bang. Yes, introducing all the way from the mud wrestling tour of the upper country, Colin Bulmer Harris.
Michelangelo to see you, your lordship.
Send him in, please, and don't interrupt me when I have a song in my heart.
Good evening, your grace.
Good evening, Michelangelo. I want to have a word with you about this Last Supper of yours.
Oh, yes.
I'm not happy with it.
Oh, dear, it took hours.
Not happy at all.
Is it the jello you don't like?
No?
No, they add a bit of colour, don't they? Oh, I know, you don't like the kangaroo.
What kangaroo?
I'll alter it, no sweat.
I never saw a kangaroo.
Oh, well, it's right near the back, but I'll paint it out. No sweat, I'll make it into a disciple.
Ah.
All right now?
That's the problem.
What is?
The disciples.
Are they too Jewish? I make Judas look the most Jewish.
No, it's just that 28 of them.
Well, another one would hardly be noticed then, so I'll make the kangaroo into a disciple.
No.
Well, all right. We'll lose the kangaroo altogether then.
disciples.
Too many?
Well, of course it's too many.
Well, in a way, but I wanted to give the impression of a huge get-together, you know, a real Last Supper. Not just any old supper, but a proper final treat, a real mother of a blowout.
There were 12 disciples at the Last Supper.
Well, supposing some of the others happened to
There
drop
were 12
by.
disciples altogether.
Well, maybe they invited some friends.
There were 12 disciples and our Lord at the Last Supper. The Bible clearly says so.
No friends?
No friends.
Waiters?
No.
Cabaret?
No!
You see, I like them. They fill out the canvas. I mean, I suppose I can use 3 or 4 of them, maybe turn 1 or 2 of them into
Look,
a dish or something.
there were 12 disciples.
I've got it! We'll call it the next to Last Supper.
What?
Well, there must have been one. I mean, if there was a last one, then there must have been one before that one, right?
Oh, yes, but...
Right, so this is the penultimate supper. The Bible doesn't say anything over there, does it?
No.
Well, there you go.
Look, the Last Supper was a significant event in the life of our Lord. The penultimate supper was not. Even if they had a conjurer and a mariachi band. Now, I commissioned a Last Supper from you, and a Last Supper I want. With 12 disciples and 1 Christ.
1?
Yes, 1! Now, will you please tell me what in heaven's name possessed you to paint this with 3 Christs in it?
It works, mate!
It does not work!
It does! It looks great! The fat woman bounces up the 2 skinny ones!
1 Redeemer.
Oh, well, I know that. Everyone knows that. But what about a good artistic license?
Well, 1 Messiah is what I want.
I'll tell you what you want, mate. You want a bloody photographer, not a creative artist.
I'll tell you what I want.
Imagination.
I want a Last Supper with 1 Christ, 12 disciples, no kangaroos, no limbo dancers. By Thursday lunch or you don't get paid.
Bloody fascist.
Look, I'm the bloody Pope, I am. And now for something completely different.
Good eye, ladies and Bruces!
Good eye, Bruce.
How are you, Bruce? Good eye, Bruce. We are so excited to be here for UArts this evening. We are all philosophy professors from the University of Wollongong, Australia. Australia! 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 We are here! I teach Hegelian philosophy. Bruce here teaches Aristotelian philosophy. And Bruce here is in charge of the sheep den.
We have 7 faculty rules here on our campus. Rule number 1,
No illustration majors.
Rule number 2, there's to be no member touching themselves at any time. Unless there's anybody watching, of course. Rule number 3,
No illustration majors.
Rule number 4, I don't want to catch anybody in their room not drinking after light out. Rule number 5,
No illustration majors.
Rule number 6, there is no rule number 6. Rule number 7,
No illustration majors. Now, Bruces and ladies, the reason why we do all this is because, quite frankly, we find your American beer a little like making love in a canoe.
Making love in a canoe?
It's fucking close to water! Anyhow, we're going to sing a song for the 2 or 3 of you who do not have a straw up your nose, if you know what I mean. Maestro, when you please.
Emmanuel Cat was a real pissant who was very rarely stable. Heidegger was a boozy beggar who would drink you under the table. David Hume could out-consume Schopenhauer and Hegel. And Wittgenstein was a beery swine who was just a schloss of Schlegel. There's nothing Nietzsche couldn't teach about the rising of the race. Socrates himself was permanently pissed. Tolstoy lived of his own free will on a half-pint shame was particularly ill. They say he was sticking away on great whiskey every day. Aristotle, on one of his dram. And Rene Descartes was a particularly miss. Ah, a little thing about a bugger when he's pissed. Force tackles on the
Mr. Hilton.
Yes?
You are the sole proprietor and owner of the Whistle Chocolate Company.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are from the hygiene squad. I'm Constable Edward, and this is Constable Clitoris. We'd like to have a word with you about your box of chocolates entitled the Whistle Quality Assortment.
Oh, yes.
Yes. If I may begin at the beginning. First, there is the cherry fondue. Now, this is extremely nasty, but we can't prosecute you for that.
That's very true.
And then we have number 4, crunchy frog.
Yes?
Am I right in thinking there's a real frog in there?
Yes. A little.
What sort of frog?
A dead frog.
Is it cooked?
Oh, no. We use only the finest baby frogs, dew-picked, flown straight from Iraq, cleansed in the finest quality spring water, lightly killed, sealed in a succulent, quintupled, smooth, trouble milk chocolate envelope, and lovingly frosted with glucose.
Yes, that sounds maybe, but it's still a frog.
What else?
Well, don't even take the bones out.
If we took the bones out, it wouldn't be crunchy now, would it?
Yes, but oh, we have to protect the public. Constable Clitoris sent one of those.
Would you excuse me a moment, sir?
We have to protect the public. People aren't going to think there's a real frog in chocolate. They're bound to think it was some sort of an almond whirl or a mock frog.
Mock frog? How dare you? There's absolutely no artificial flavorings or additives in our product whatsoever.
Well, nevertheless, I advise you in future to replace the words crunchy frog with the legend real dead raw unboned crunchy frog if you wish to avoid prosecution.
What about our sales?
Oh, don't give a sort about those sales. We have to protect the public. Oh, wait, what's this one? Number 5. It was number 5, wasn't it?
Number 5. Ram's bladder cup.
Oh! Now, what sort of a confectionery is that?
Oh, we use only the finest juicy chunks of Cornish ram's bladder. And steamed, flavored with sesame seeds, whipped into a fondue, and garnished with lark's vomit.
Lark's vomit?
Yes.
But it doesn't say anything here about lark's vomit.
Oh, but it does. At the very bottom of the box, right next to monosodium glutamate.
Oh, yes, really. I hardly think that's good enough. It's more likely that you say a great, great big warning that says, warning, lark's vomit.
Our sales would plummet.
Then why don't you move into more conventional areas of confectionery, like praline or lime cream, a very popular flavor, I'm meant to understand, or raspberry delight. I mean, what's this one? What is this one? Cockroach cluster, anthrax ripple. And what is this one? Spring surprise.
Oh, that's one of our specialities. Covered in dark velvety chocolate, when you pop it into your mouth, stainless steel bolts spring out and plunge straight through both cheeks.
Where's the fun in that?
Watching, of course.
In any case, I think it is an inadequate description of the sweetmeat. I shall have to ask you to accompany me to the station.
It's a fair cop.
And don't talk to the audience.
Flower arranging with Mr. D.P. Gumby.
Good evening.
First!
Pick a bunch of flowers. crazy irises, crazy eyes, begonias, and come out for some. Arrange them nicely into a vase.
Down flowers, get ahead! But get off that! This is silly! Leave the stage!
My brain hurts.
Noticed that the tendencies of this show have been rather silly. The last sketch was incredibly silly, so we will have none of that nonsense. No one likes a good laugh more than I do, except my wife. Oh, and a few friends. Oh yes, and Captain Phillips. Come to think of it, some people like a laugh more than I do, but that's beside the point. Now, let's put this show on hold for a moment so we can fix the silliness. And that silliness with a Y, of course. Now, let's all go out to the lobby to get ourselves a snack.
Albatross! Albatross! Albatross!
Excuse me. Two scoops of chocolate, please.
I haven't got any ice cream, I've just got this albatross. Albatross!
What flavor is it?
It's a bird, isn't it? It's a bloody seabird. It doesn't have any bloody flavour. Albatross!
Well, it must have a flavor. I mean, everything's got
All right. It's bloody albatross flavour. It's bleeding seabird bleeding flavour.
Well, does it come with wafers?
Of course it doesn't come with bloody wafers. It's bloody albatross.
Well, how much does it cost?
9p.
I'll take 2, please.
I just got the one, you tit.
Stop that, silly! And that dress makes your buttocks look big.
Oh, don't you impress me, mate.
Oh, get off! You! In the suit! Come on, you'll need it in the next sketch. Now you sit over here. Come on then. Bring in this. Guy. Come on then. And cue the sketch.
Evening, Squire.
Good evening.
Is your wife a goer? Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? I beg your pardon. Your wife is here. Does she go? Yeah. Does she go? Say no more. She goes? Yes. Yeah, but she does. She you selling something? Oh, selling something! Oh, selling something! Very good, Squire. Very good selling something. Oh, wicked! Wicked! It's She likes sports, yes. She's quite fond of cricket.
How is it, you know? Likes games, does she, you know?
Been around a bit. Yes, she's travelled. She's from Philly. Say no more, Squire, from Philly. Say no more. Say no more. Say no more. Say no more. I wasn't going to. Let me ask you this. Is your wife interested in photography? Photographs, he asked knowingly. Photography. Yeah, you know, a little snap, snap, grin, grin, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. Holiday snaps,
They could be taken on holiday, they could, you know, all candid like.
No, I'm afraid we don't have a camera. Sorry. Well, still. No, Squire. No, positively negatory, yes.
Well, you're a man of the world, Squire.
Yes.
You've been all over, you know, you've done things.
Yes.
You've done it.
What about?
Like you've slept with a lady. What's it like? Well,
it gets wet! Yes!
Bunch of loonies. Morning. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I'm afraid my walk has become rather silly and silly these days. Thanks for what was it again?
Yes, I'd like to apply for a grant for my silly walk.
I see. Can I see the silly walk of yours?
Yes, of course.
That's it, isn't it?
Yes, that's it.
I see. It's not particularly silly, is it? I mean, the left leg isn't silly at all, and the right leg really does a double O'Brien half turn every alternate step.
Yes, but I feel with government backing, I could help develop it to make it more silly.
Mr. Pewdie, the very real problem is not Social Security, health, housing, education, silly things. Well, actually, the government spent less on silly costs more on industrial organisation. We're supposed to get £48 million a year to cover our entire silly program. Coffee?
Yes, please.
Mrs. Two Lamps, could we have 2 cups of coffee, please?
Yes, Mr. Teabag.
Out of her mind. You see, the Italians have a man who can lift his leg over his head and back in every single step, while in Japan it's... Oh, here's the coffee. Thank you, Mrs. Two Lamps. So, you're interested in silly walks, aren't you?
I've actually just now completely lost interest in silly walking.
That's a shame. I wish I could help you.
What do you say we come back to my place?
You are.
Good morning.
Good morning. Have you come to arrange a holiday, or would you like a blowjob?
Sorry?
Oh. You've come to arrange a holiday.
Yes.
Where were you thinking of going?
To India.
Ah, yes, one of our adventure holidays.
else.
I'm bound for adventure.
Nice to meet you. My name is Smoke Too Much.
What?
Smoke Too Much? Mr. Smoke Too Much?
I think you better cut down a little then.
I'm sorry?
I think you'd better cut down a little then, eh? Eh?
Ah! Yes, got Smoke Too Much. Cut down a little then.
Oh yes, I bet people making jokes about that all the time, eh?
No, it's actually never struck me before.
Anyway, you were asking about our holiday.
Yes, that's right. I saw your advert in the classified ads.
The what?
In the Times classified ads?
The Times classified ads?
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid I can't pronounce the letter B. That's right, the letter B. It was all due to a trauma I suffered as a schoolboy. I was attacked by a Siamese bat.
Ah, Siamese cat.
No, Siamese bat. They're much more dangerous.
Say the letter K.
Kettle, Kipling, Cornetty, Kellogg's Cornflakes.
Then why don't you say the letter K instead of the letter C?
You mean to pronounce glossified with a K?
Yes.
Glossified.
Oh!
Oh, very good. Oh.
Now then, about the holiday.
Yes, I've been on many package stores before, so your ad book really bought my eye.
Good. Now let me offer you this.
What's
I
the
could
point
give
if
you
you're just going to be traveled around and carted around the buses like sheep?
Yes.
You know, surrounded by sweaty, mindless hopes in their rances, in their transistor radios, in their voting backs, you know, in their cardigans, in their... You're not complaining about their tea, right? It's not done properly, is it? And we're stopping endless Majorcan bodegas because they're selling calamari 2-veg and fish and chips and Hockney's Red Barrel.
Yes, now let me offer you
And
this.
every other Thursday there's some bloody cabaret with some tiny emaciated douche pickle and a massive woman presenting her arse to foreigners doing the flamenco. And there's this massive Olympic-sized pool with dozens of obese German businessmen doing adenoidal typing and frightening the cheering
Quiet.
And then every other Tuesday you see
Shut up.
Shut up. Next to you.
Shut
next
up.
to you.
Shut your bloody gob. Shut up.
I love the Costa Brava. I love the Costa Brava. And people going on about how many men with Mama Powell. She knows them all, and she just feels the country so well. And you know, you've been on this package tour for 4 days. There's only 5 days of this tour, and you're on the tour, man, for 4 of these days. And the bus finally comes, and then you're there for 16 hours. And finally, you get off the bus, you get to the ancient ruin that is the hotel. There's a mall. There's no water in the bath. There's no water in the tub. There's no water in the sink. There's only a bleeding lizard in the bidet. Oh, and when you finally get there, you realize there's an outbreak of the Spanish cholera, you know? And they promise you it's the 1616 version of Spanish cholera, which is no offense to humans like that. But even the bloody rats are dying from it. They're croaking, their tails are falling off, and they look all yellow and it's terrible.
Very possible, isn't it? Very possible indeed.
Aye. Oh, you can't put a good glass of
And
champagne.
the bloody guy, you know, arresting 16 and 17 on the street for kissing. They should be arresting these people or buying bloody plastic donkeys with their names on it. Who buys these things? Not all the names are represented, mind you. There's no Amir, there's no Andrew, there's none of these things. Why do you keep on buying these donkeys?
Oh, there's nothing like a good glass of Chateau de Chester, right, Josiah?
Ah, you're right there with I.
Who'd have thought 40 years ago we'd be sitting here drinking Chateau de Chester, like?
Oh, members who'd be looking for the price of a cup of tea.
How a cup of cold tea?
Without milk or sugar.
Or tea.
Better cracked cup of that.
Oh, we never had a cup. We used to drink out of a roll of newspaper.
The best we could manage was to suck a damp cloth.
But you know, we were happy in them days, weren't we? Even though we were poor.
Oh, because we were poor. My father used to tell me, money can't buy you happiness, son.
He was right. I was happier than I had nothing. We used to live in a tiny, tumble-down old house with great holes in the roof.
A house? Oh, you were lucky to have a house. We used to live in one room with no furniture. Oh, there were 26 of us. Half the floor was missing and we were huddled together in a corner for fear of falling.
You were lucky to have a room. We used to sleep in the corridor.
Corridor? Boy, we used to dream of living in the corridor. rubbish tip. We had to wake up every morning by having a load of rotting fish dumped all over our heads. House? Huh.
Oh, well, when I say house, it was more like a hole in the ground covered by tarpaulin. It was a house to us.
We were evicted from our hole in the ground. We had to go live in the lake. You were lucky to have a lake. 50 of us living in a shoebox in the middle of the road.
Cardboard box? Aye. Lucky. We lived for 3 months in a rotten newspaper in a septic tank. We used to have to wake up every morning at 6 in the morning, unravel and clean the newspaper, then eat a crust of stale bread and go to work at mill for 14 hours a day, week in, week out, for 6 pence a week. And then, when we got home, our dad would thrash us to sleep with his belt.
Luxury. We had to get out of the lake at 3 a.m., clean the lake, eat a handful of hot gravel, go to work at the mill for 20 hours a day for tuppence a month, and when we got home, our dad would beat us in the head and neck with a broken bottle. If we were lucky.
Well, we had it tough. We used to leave the cardboard box at 12 at night, pick the road clean with our tongues, eat half a handful of frozen cold gravel, go out and work for 24 hours a day to go get paid 4 pennies a year, and when we got home, our father would slice us in two with a bread knife.
Right. I used to wake up in the morning at 10:30 at night, half an hour before I went to bed. Eat a lump of freezing cold poison. Go to work at mill for 28 hours a day and pay mill for letting us work there. And when we got home at night, our dad would murder us in cold blood each night and dance in our grave singing hallelujah.
You try telling the young people today that, and they wouldn't believe you.
Episode of a new radio drama series, The Death of Mary, Queen of Scots. You are Mary, Queen of Scots. I am. I think she's dead. No, I'm not.
if I can. Do you know what I always wanted to be? Do you know? I always wanted to be.
Lumberjack.
Yeah, that's right. I always wanted to be a lumberjack! Leaping from tree to tree as they flow down the mighty rivers of the British Columbia. The giant redwood, the larch, the fir, the mighty Scots pine, the sequoia, the oak, the spruce, the pine, the juniper, the frank furnace. With the best girlie by my side, we sing, sing, sing. Oh, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
I cut down trees, I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory. On Wednesdays I go shopping and have buttered scones for tea.
He cuts down trees, he eats his lunch, he goes to the lavatory. On Wednesdays he goes shopping and has buttered scones for tea. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
I cut down trees, I skip and jump, I like to press wildflowers. I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars.
He cuts down trees, he shoots and jumps, he likes to press wildflowers. He puts on women's clothing and hangs around in bars. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
I cut down trees, I wear high heels, suspendies and a bra. I wish I'd been a girlie, just like my dear papa.
He cuts down trees, he wears high heels, suspenders and a bra.
It's not wrong, but how do you cut trees in that?
I tell you.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Can I get some lights? Oh, thank you so very much for coming. I would like to apologize for that last sketch. And the one before that. And the flower one. The whole damn show. However, I think it's time I sing a song. You know, that is squeaky clean and most importantly, has morals. Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis? Isn't it wonderfully good to have a dong? It's swell to own a stiffy. It's divine to own a dick. From the tiniest little toddler to the world's biggest freak. So 3 cheers for your Willie or John Thomas. Hooray for your one-eyed trouser snake. Your piece of pork, your wife's best friend, your Percy or your cock. You wrap it up in ribbons. You can slip it in a sock. But don't you take it out in public or they'll ship you in a dock. And you won't come back. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to have an argument, please.
Right. Are you sure you wouldn't prefer a lengthy, moist rogering?
No, just the argument, please.
Certainly, sir. Now, were you thinking of just having one argument, or were you thinking of taking a course?
What's the cost?
Well, it's £1 for a 5-minute argument, but only £8 for a course of 10.
I think I'll just try the 5 and see how it goes from there.
Fine. Try Mr. Barnard, room 12.
Thank you very much.
What do you want?
Don't give me that, you snotty-faced heap of Oh, I see. I'm so sorry.
Oh, not at all. Stupid git.
Is this the right room for an argument?
I told you once. Yes, I did. Just now. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm telling you, I did.
You most certainly did
No,
not.
I'm sorry. Is this the 5-minute argument or the full half hour?
Just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Thank you. Anyway, I did.
No, you didn't.
Now let's get one thing very clear. I most definitely told you. Yes, I did. 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 Yes,
this isn't a document.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's just contradiction.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. You just contradicted me.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, no,
You did just that.
Nonsense.
This is futile.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Look, I came here for a good argument.
No, you didn't. You came here for an argument.
Yes, but an argument isn't just contradiction.
Well, it can be.
No, it can't. An argument is a connected series of statements intended to establish a proposition.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. It isn't just contradiction.
Look, if I argue with you, I must take up a contrary position.
Yes, but it isn't just saying. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Look, an argument is an intellectual process. Contradiction is just an automatic gainsaying what the other person said.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
Not at all.
Now look.
Thank you. Good morning.
What?
That's it. Good morning.
Well, I was just getting interested.
Well, I'm sorry, but the 5 minutes is up.
But that was over 5 minutes just now.
I'm afraid it was.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not allowed to argue with you anymore. If you want to go on arguing, you'll have to pay for another 5 minutes.
That was never 5 minutes just now. Oh, come on, this is ridiculous.
If you want to go on arguing, you'll have to pay for another 5 minutes. Thank you.
Well, what? It was never 5 minutes just now.
I told you, if you want to go on arguing, you'll have to pay for another 5 minutes.
I just paid.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You did not.
I did.
You never.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You never.
I did just
You
that.
never.
Yes, I
You
did.
never.
I
You
did.
never.
I did.
You
I
never.
did. I 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 did.
Look at us argue about that!
Sorry, but you didn't pay.
Aha! If I didn't pay, why are you arguing? Got you.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. If you argue with me, I must pay.
Well, not necessarily. I could be arguing in my spare time.
Futile.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. 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 No, it isn't.
Silly! Silly. Silly. Right, enough of that! Get off! This sketch is silly!
No, it isn't.
Oh, shut up! You know, I think I've had enough of seeing other people doing comedy. I ought to go lecture on what true comedy is. Bring in my podium and 3 of the soldiers. As early as the late 14th century, or indeed as late as the early 14th century, the earliest forms of japes were divisible into the 2 categories in which I now intend to divide them. As can be seen from the demonstration, the earliest manifestation of the basic simple precipitation jest incurred a disproportionate amount of internalizability on the part of the operator. Secondary precipitation occurs when both the protagonist and jape are located indoors. It is true, however, that this has made a development necessary for a special piece of machinery, but it is still no more than a simple variation of primary precipitation.
Yeah.
As popular as this jest has always been, however, it does not compare to the ribald connotations associated with the dispatch of an edible missile. First, the simple, straightforward, offensive deposit. Second, the simple, sideways, offensive deposit. Next, the simple, surprise deposit. And finally, the foul pie. Could we get new pies, please? Finally, we move on to the interesting but little-known variant, nominally designated the three-course complex. But finally, we must not forget the enjoyment, satisfaction, amusement, and edification, to be derived from the simple, straightforward, sideways, completely unexpected deposit.